Alright, hey guys, it's Monday, April 20th for 7th grade science. And so I hope y'all had a good weekend and everything like that and are ready to go with this new material. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to be on page 384 through 392. So it is going to be a bigger block of reading for us to do today. And then I'm going to have some questions for you to do as well. And so today will be a pretty bigger work day as far as this class is concerned, but we can get it all done, no big deal here. And so what I need you to do is go ahead and look at and read pages 384 through 392. And then we will pick up and move on from there in a second. So 384 through 392. Go ahead and read that. Alright, so on page 384, we deal with, they basically give you a few different animal classifications. So this is just charts you need to look at. I'm not going to spend a ton of time going through this verbatim. You can pretty much just look at the chart and see what it gives you. But it gives you the divisions of mammals, birds, fish, and etc. And gives you some classifications, characteristics, and stuff like that over each of those animal divisions. So you need to look at that. We will start on page 386 with our material. And so 386, they give us segmented worms here. The first thing I'm going to look at here is the bold word annelids, which are segmented worms, and they belong to the phylum Annelida, and they include earthworms and leeches. Their body is divided into many segments, and earthworms have bristles called setae, which are attached to each segment. Moving on over to the flatworms, which are the platyhelminths. They belong to the phylum Platyhelminths, and they have flattened bodies, and they include flukes, tapeworms, and planarians. Flukes and tapeworms are both parasites and organisms that live in or on other organisms and obtain nutrients from them. Humans most often become infected by these parasites as a result of eating raw or undercooked meat. Most infections can be prevented by the cooking food properly. Looking at 387, we have roundworms. There are over 20,000 known species of roundworms or nematodes. Nematodes have long, slender, non-segmented bodies that taper out at both ends. They are the most abundant animals. Some top scientists estimate that 4/5 of all animals are nematodes. They also have some of the greatest diversity in size. Some are microscopic, others can grow up to 8 meters. Although many nematodes are not parasitic, the best known nematodes are parasites that infect humans and mammals. These include hookworms, pinworms, filaria worms, and trichina worms. Heartworm, which primarily affects dogs, is also a parasitic nematode. 387 there, looking at mollusks. These include clams, oysters, snails, slugs, and octopuses. Octopuses? I think that's octopi, should be, but oh well. Specific characteristics of mollusks include a muscular foot used for locomotion, a visceral hump containing the internal organ and mantle, a skin-like organ that covers the visceral hump. Skipping down some, we have bivalves. They are a group of aquatic mollusks that include clams, oysters, mussels, and similar species. The body of a bivalve is enclosed in 2 shells connected by a hinge. The name bivalve refers to two-shell design. So that'll move us to 388. So 388, we have the gastropod, which is designed to crawl along on its stomach. Because of this, gastropods were given their name, which means stomach foot. This group includes snails, slugs, conch, cowries, and similar creatures. Although most mollusks are aquatic, some snails and slugs are terrestrial. Snails and most other gastropods have a single coiled shell. Slugs are gastropods without shells. Next is the cephalopod, which means head foot. This name well describes the cephalopod, which have the head, foot combined into a single structure. The cephalopod are marine animals. The octopus is a shellless cephalopod with a rounded head and 8 arms used for catching prey. A squid has 8 arms and 2 longer tentacles, an elongated torpedo-shaped head with fins for swimming, and an internal shell. Both of these can escape predators by using jet propulsion, rapidly squirting water out of the foot through a special tube. Next is the echinoderms, all of which are marine animals. They include starfish, sea urchins, sea dollars, and sea cucumbers. They have the phylum Echinodermida, which is basically hedgehog skin because of the external spines that grow from the internal calcium carbonate skeleton. Sea stingers there on page 389 deals with coelentrates, members of the aquatic phylum Coelentria. A coelentria has slender tentacles extending from its body. The coelentrate uses these tentacles to capture its prey, which include microorganisms and small fish. That gives you also there on page 389 the creation clip, you are what you eat. So that's good information there. Flipping on to page 390, it says coelentrates have 2 major body forms, the medusa form and the polyp form. Both forms have radial symmetry with the mouth at one end and the tentacles surrounding the mouth. A medusa is free swimming with few exceptions. The mouth and tentacles of the medusa point downward. The familiar form of a jellyfish is a medusa. A polyp is stationary with the downward end attached to the hard surface and the mouth and tentacles pointing upwards. Sea anemones and corals are polyps. And so they give you the example, a few different pictures there with a jellyfish, etc. Page 390, permanent fixtures. It says the bodies of sponges have only 2 cell layers that surround non-living material manufactured by the cells. Sponges always grow outward to underwater objects. Most of the approximately 5,000 species of sponges live in the ocean. And so then if you look on page 391, it just gives you the science investigation there. You can read through. But basically that will end up that section. And so what I need you to do today is just combining a few different things. I need you to do basically 1 through 7 on page 392. And then I need you to do the chapter 10 review, identify on page 117, and the explain odd. So identify 1 through 17 and explain odd. And so basically this will get us ready for the test tomorrow, I believe. Test 10 will be tomorrow. Or wait, no, science, test 10 will be tomorrow. And so basically, just if you have any questions, make sure you get them to me today, and we can go over that. But basically, this will cover the review stuff for the test. So do the review to make sure you understand it. If you have any questions on any of this, get with me. That'll orient you for your test tomorrow. All right, hope you have a good day.